Hi there. So it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy. Happy Friday, everybody. Today is Friday, August 14th. And today I just want to share with you the Love of Leaves bundle. Now, this bundle is in the August through December mini catalog, or the current mini catalog, and it's on page 47. And I'll be honest with you, when I first saw this bundle, I fell in love with the words and the font on here. But then I saw the dies, and now I fell in love with both. Now, like I said, this is a bundle that's in the catalog, so if you buy them together, you save 10%. And let me go ahead and show you what they can do. So this is the card that we're gonna make today using that bundle. But the dies are so versatile. There's so many things you can do with the dies. Let me show you what you can do, okay? Let me get rid of the, I think that was a cat here. So we're gonna start with our cardstock here. And I have just jade, crushed curry, and some rich raspberry. But let's make our platform. So this is the new die cutting machine with Stampin' Up. And I don't know if you saw, I got it out pretty fast. It folds up, so it stores very easily. It's very lightweight if you need to haul it back and forth. It unfolds, and then this is the plates that you'll need. So it comes with all of these plates. This is the platform, or number 1. The die adapter, or number 2, and then we need 1 cutting plate on there, right? And then we're going to put our paper down. So I have my rich raspberry, my crushed curry, and my just jade. And then with the dies, I'm going to take this leaf and put it here. Now I'm going to try to center and make it look nice on that scrap of paper, and I'll show you why later. And then this big leaf will go on my crushed curry, and then we want one of these little leaves here on my just jade. Then you can take these pieces here and set them inside, and this is what's going to put the stitching. I might have to get some washi tape, because I got the movie jitters, I guess you call it, or video jitters, and my hands shake a little bit to get them where I want them. But that one looks good. And then this one here, I think will be okay without the, yikes, the washi tape. Well, yeah, we'll be fine. And then last, where did my, here it is right here. This little piece here is gonna fit in there. Okay, now I think we're good to go. So we'll put the top plate on here and then run that through the Big Shot. This one moved. I wonder if I can get my finger under there and get it where I want it. I'm gonna take the whole thing out. I should have just used the washi tape. Yeah, let me, hold on a second. Thank goodness it moved it up a little bit, and let me grab some washi tape here, and I'm gonna hold that one where I want it. Always good to show you what not to do on my videos, right? It's a learning thing. Try to get it, there we go. And then just a little bit of washi tape up there in the corner, and I can put it back in my, there we go. Okay, back to business here. I'm going to run that through the machine. And then you have pieces that look like this. Let me just knock all of that off of there. Set this aside. We're going to need that one more time. But you have leaves that are cut and stitched. Can you see how cute that is? Look how pretty those leaves are for the front. Now, not only do you have the pretty leaf that has the stitching, but then this piece has the stitching on the outside where the leaf was. So then you could do something like this and make a little card with those extra pieces with just the outline and the stitching, which I think is really, really pretty. So they are very versatile. There's a million things you could do with these dies and stamps. Now the other cool thing, as I take these apart, let me show you one more thing. So you could just take the stamps, right? Stamp them in different colors and cut them out so they would look like that. Or you could take those and then run them through the the die cutting machine and put those stitched on the ones that are stamped. And the other nice thing, that because this is a photopolymer stamp set, and let's say you want to make a bunch of them to send for, I don't know, Thanksgiving, but you have a bunch of cards to make, you can also, let's mount that on a block here, bring in my foam pad because it's photopolymer, and here I've cut one just out of very vanilla, and you find some just jade ink here, and you could go ahead and cut them out first and then stamp them on there. And that just saves paper, because then you could cut a bunch of them out and have them already like that. So that's what's really nice about the photopolymer, about the different dyes and the different things you could do. And probably is why I fell in love with this die cut. But then the leaves are great, but wait till you see what this piece does. So this, I have a piece of very vanilla here that's just a mat on the front, so it's 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm gonna lay that on my die cut machine or on my clear pads, whatever, and then lay that there and run that through. And just look what that does to your cardstock, and makes that really pretty stitched print there on the cardstock. So like I said, there's tons of cool stitched leaves, and this pretty extra piece. Let me put all this away and then we'll start making the card. But I am in love, and you'll probably see these a lot more often, or at least the more videos, because I think there's so many things that you could do with this die set and this and the stamp set. So here's a piece of just jade cardstock. It's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and now I've scored it at 4 1/4. Use my bone folder to get that nice crisp edge there. I'm gonna go ahead and take this piece here and just put some dimensionals on the back. I think it's easier to add your layers when they're flat and then add the pieces on afterward, if that makes sense. Makes sense to me, so hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Get those dimensional backs off there. Make sure I put it the right way. Whoop, now I stuck it to my table. Okay, and I'm gonna put this down centered on our card base. So another product in the mini catalog are these gold hoop embellishments. Now these, I think, are really pretty, and they add that little bit of wow to the card. And so I'm gonna bring in, this is the Floral for Every Season ribbon pack. Now you get all 3 ribbons in one pack. You'll find this in the annual catalog for $10, which isn't bad. But I'm gonna use this Just Jade, this is called gingham, I don't know, plaid ribbon, whatever, but I'm gonna just tie a simple knot around my little ring here. This will be the back there. That looks pretty good for the front. Let me find some scissors here that'll cut that ribbon. Trim that off there. Let's clean up this end. There, so then we have our little accent piece. And before I put him down, I'm gonna take this purple leaf here with just a little bit of adhesive and lay this one down. I don't know, does that look good about there? Yeah. Then with just a little bit of liquid glue, you know, liquid glue, a little bit goes a long way. I'm going to just tap on that hoop, this gold hoop. Get a little bit of glue on there and then set him. And now on my first card, my sample card, you couldn't really see the rich raspberry flower back there, so I'm going to make sure that he sticks out a little bit more on this card because I was kind of bummed that you couldn't see more of him. So there's my plan. Then with the crushed curry leaf that we punched out, die cut, whatever, I'm going to just put a couple dimensionals on him. And then lay him inside that hoop, maybe right there. That looks good. And then the last one, the little jade leaf that we die cut. Where are my glue dots? Here they are. I just had them. We'll put a couple glue dots on the back of him and lay him there. That looks good. Okay, then I have a little tiny piece of very vanilla cardstock, and I wrote down the measurements for you because he is 1 5/8 inches by 3 1/4, and I want to stamp some words on him with some rich raspberry ink. Let's find my stamp set again. Here he is. And I love, like I said, the font and the words in this stamp set. This one says, "I thought of you today." And that is just perfect for this card. So I'm going to ink it up pretty good, make sure it's got ink on it, and centered on that itty bitty little piece of cardstock. Make sure I hold it down, let the ink sink in. Yay, I'm going to set that aside and let him dry. And, I don't want to shut that. I'm going to bring in, this is the inside of my card. So this is another piece of very vanilla that is 5 by 4 1/4. And these words say, "I'm so glad you're in my life." Let me bring in a block here. We're going to ink that up and stamp that down in the center here. So now in my sample card, I die cut some leaves. Whoop! Did you see that purple one go flying? And I laid them in here. But now for this card, I'm going to go ahead and stamp some leaves in there. I'm going to let this dry too, let him dry so he doesn't smear when I go ahead to put him inside my card. But I'm going to bring in that great big leaf with some crushed curry ink. And stamp him down in the center. No, I'm sorry, not in the center. I'm going to get him inked up nice and good and stamp him. Let me grab a piece of scratch paper so in case I go off the edge I don't get on my pierce mat. And just stamp that down right there. Now the reason I wanted to stamp this one, because I want to do a little bit of an experiment and see what this would look like if we then took and put that stitch part on just a stamped image without him die cut completely out. So now I'm going to bring in my die cut machine again, also known as my boyfriend and as Prince Charming. That's what I call my die cut machine because he's just so pretty. And I do love having him around, but maybe that's, anyway, too much information. So I'm going to lay him down and then put that little stitched on there, the other cutting pad, and then run that through my die cut machine. And we'll see what this looks like. I think this is going to be really pretty this way. Yeah, I love it. Look how that turned out. Is that not beautiful? Love that die cut, those dies. They're just, they're awesome. I can't get over how great they think they are. I love the stitching and how you can stitch them whether they're stamped, whether they're just cut out of colored cardstock. Nice. We're going to put this in here. Yeah, I am loving the stamped with the stitching. And then last but not least, I'm going to just bring in some linen thread here and just tie a little bow. Trim him. Oh, and I forgot we still need to tape our little white piece. Whoop, come on. Little white piece here. And so if my white piece, no, this, I told you the wrong measurement. This is 1.5 by 5/8 inch. This is 1 5/8 by 3/4 of an inch. But it's just 1/8 of an inch bigger, like that. And then with a couple glue dots on the back of that. Here they are. We'll put our greeting down. Looks good about there. And then I'm going to take a glue dot here. Oh, you know what? We missed one here. Let me do some work here. I'm going to take that glue dot off and get him onto my paper. He didn't stick to the right spot. We'll throw that one away. We'll get a fresh one. Here we go. I'm going to tuck him under here where he should have had a glue dot. There we go. Now I'm going to take a glue dot and fold him in half. And then stick my little linen thread bow on there. And then take my bow and just put it in the corner of my greeting there. So there you go. So there's my card for today. And like I said, I do love the stitched on the stamped on the inside. Now I hope you have fallen in love with the Love of Leaf bundle, just how I have. If you ever need anything, I would love to be your demonstrator. Get stuff out of the way. You can visit my online store. For all the measurements and everything, you can visit my blog, Be Creative with Kathy. If you decide to go ahead and purchase some products from my store, be sure and use the August host code. And as a celebration, August will be a celebration of my 15th year with Stampin' Up! And the 15th anniversary is Crystal. So if you place an order at my online store, I'll send you a bottle of the Shimmery Crystal Effects in celebration of my 15th anniversary. I hope you enjoyed my cards. I really appreciate you watching. I hope to see you back next time. I'll be back Monday about 1:30. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.